So what we're gonna do is relocate the speedometer. Basically, we're gonna be installing some T-bars you guys might have just seen in the last video. Lucky Dave's T-bars, 10-inch San Diego bars. And we need to, depending on what kind of Sportster you have, you need to relocate this speedometer because there's not a spot on the T-bars for it. They make mounts for it, but I don't have that mount. Maybe I'll get it later. I've done this already on a Sportster, and the Sportster, it had, these are some of the mounts, the different mounts you can have. The Sportster, this is a 48, so it's a little bit different, but the Sportster was generally like this, where the speedometer was all in one kind of thing with the clamp. So there's a video on that on my channel. I'll link that somewhere so y'all can see that. And then there's also, if you have it like this, you don't need to relocate, obviously, for T-bars because they're not in the way. But basically what we're gonna be doing is mounting them right here to these visor bolts on this DX. So we have to do that. Went to Home Depot. Somebody in my Sportster video, they put in the comments to get a 13mm socket, and that works as a spacer because I made one last time and it was kind of pain in the butt. But I wish, I wish it was black, not chrome. But we can always go back and change that later. Just want to get that thing relocated so I can get the bars on. One thing too is I want to just take care of that, totally knock that out, so I'm not like having this thing loose while I'm doing the bars like I did on the Sportster. If y'all saw the Sportster video, because I had basically put the bars on first. Got so excited on that Sportster T-bar install where I wanted to install the bars. So I installed the bars and then I relocated this. So this thing was just flopping loose. So first things first, I'm gonna relocate this, put it on here. I'm not gonna tighten it down super tight because I still might have to do things. I'm gonna change the bushings here. It shouldn't get in the way, but just in case, I'm not gonna tighten it down too much. Change the bushings because that's way too much play. So I got some Arlen S bushings for that. I'll put a link for those in the description. But basically what we have here is a 12mm socket. Picked this up at the Home Depot. And see if I can get this single-handedly. Okay. Basically we have these also, it's a 5/16 thread course. And 3 inches is what I use in the Sportster. Somebody in the comments of that video put 3.5 inches works better. And so I bought both just because I wanted to have them handy. But should have given me plenty of, here's kind of what it looks like. It'll fit right through there, so that'll be a good little spacer for it. And basically that's gonna go right there in between, making us a nice little spacer, and it's already chromed. Don't have to worry about cutting anything. These were only $4, so $8 for our little 12mm socket spacers. So I'll get to that. Basically just gonna unbolt these two and unbolt these two behind it and start mounting it up. So we'll get to it. Oh, and one quick thing. The reason why these are yellow is because they are like a special zinc coating for like so it doesn't rust. It's a grade 8 bolt. You need to use a grade 8 bolt on these. I found some grade 8 bolts that are black before, but those they rust really quick. These are really rust resistant, so I'll find a better bolt later, probably by ARP or something, but this is just to get me started. These will not rust, I found, well, at least not very easily in my experience. So that's why it's yellow. And make sure it's grade 8. It has to be grade 8 because it's a lot of vibrations on the Harleys, and it's fairly heavy and it could snap. So first thing I'm gonna do, got the Allen here. I'm going to loosen. And now we have that off. I think I might have to drill these out a little bit so it can line up. Yeah. All right, I'll start drilling these out. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start drilling these holes closer to this these little indicators here, this way on each one of them. All right, so I loosened the visor here with the 2 bolts that go in the back, and it looks like I'm able to disconnect this this whole bracket there with this plug. I'll take it off and just drill it off the bike. It was a terrible idea to start drilling on the bike, so yeah, I would recommend not do that. Okay, it's disconnected there. Okay, yeah, I had no clue how easy that was gonna be. So now I can drill it off the bike. Cool. Okay, actually I don't need to do any more drilling. I've got it mocked up, tightened down pretty good. This is gonna be, that visor is gonna take up some of that slack, so I know it'll fit. And I'm just going to reconnect this and see if I can move this brake line out of the way for later for the T-bars. But I'm gonna reconnect this, everything, and make sure it all fits. All right, y'all, we've got it mounted up. Quick tip on when you're trying to get everything aligned. Leave the regular stock bolt in on one of these sides, so that way this doesn't have all the pressure tilting, and it makes it easier to put one side in. So hook one side up while the stock bolt's in on the other side, and then once you get that the new side in with the spacer and everything, a longer bolt, then you can pull out that stock bolt and then put in the other side, and you got both. And then one other thing too, these threads are pretty deep. I think I got plenty of room to use another 1/2 inch, which I'd like to do. So these are the 3.5 inch length on this setup. I think I'll go with the 4 inch so it can get a little bit deeper. Ultimately, I think what's gonna happen, I'm gonna put a T-Sport fairing on this bike, repop one, probably Crater or something like that. And what that needs is a bottom mount headlight. So this whole visor piece right here is gonna be going away at some point. So this setup will be changing, but this will get us started on allowing the T-bars to fit in. So the next thing I'm gonna do is basically take off the seat. I need to clip a little zip tie underneath the seat to allow the wires to get pulled through the frame. They all come out through here on this little side, and you're gonna have to basically just fish them out by just shoving them through the bike. It's not a lot of fun. I'm gonna save that for the next video, so make sure you subscribe, check out that video and the other videos on this bike and the other cool Harleys we have here. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.